Hello. So today is Monday, and it's so weird because winter break is almost over. In 1 week, I'll be back at the university finishing up my very last semester of my undergraduate degree. It is insane. I'll be done with school. This last year has just been crazy. This last semester, I was doing a minor that took up the whole semester, which was all about wilderness and very immersive. So we did a ton of trips and everything, including the 9-day backpacking trip, which I vlogged. I could have graduated early if I wanted to, but I took the opportunity to do that minor because it's something that I always wanted to do but never thought I could. Like, when I had to think about it, it just seems so much that I never thought myself capable of doing. So pushing myself to do it was huge for me, and like being able to say that I did do it is huge. I still can't believe it, honestly, all the things that I did. Another update since I have vlogged is that COVID hit the entire house. One of my brothers was living with us for a little while in between leases of his apartments, and he brought it home, and then my mom got it really bad. He had a really light case. My mom had a high fever of, like, it got up to 104 at one point, and she was sick she had a fever for 9 days. And then I started feeling some symptoms. Mine were so mild though, so I didn't go to the doctor because I was like, I don't even think I have it, and if I do, it's like COVID, blah blah, like, so. But then when I finally decided to go, when I actually got a fever for 2 days, again, it was mild, only 100, but definitely enough where you felt like bleh. So by the time I went to get a test, my symptoms had completely resolved. It was like the first day I was symptom free, and B, I had a rapid result test at first, which aren't as accurate, and it came back negative. So I was like, that's so weird. Should I get another one? I called some different people. It was a whole thing, and they're like, yeah, you might as well get another one because it's very unlikely it's something else. So the next day, still symptom free, I got a full-on test where they send it out, and that was the test that actually went like way deep inside my nasal socket. So it was like a real COVID test, not the rapid one where they just put it in your nose like a flu test. So I got a flu test and I got a real COVID test. Both came back negative. They said it could have been a cold, which honestly I don't think it was, because I was already quarantined up until I started had symptoms. Couldn't have gotten a cold from anyone, and also it was not cold symptoms. So I don't think it was a cold. Also said that the virus leaves people's bodies all at different times, like it depends, and so it's very possible, also because I had a mild case, that the virus was already out of my system by the time I eventually got tested, and by then my symptoms were gone anyway. But it's different for everyone, and that could have been the case for me. That's kind of the update for now, I think, on things, since I have not vlogged in a while. Something I did not share was I shot my first buck this fall in November. It was on Veterans Day, and it was right at our house here. It was a really big buck because he was super old. You can see how thick its antlers are, and half of them are broken off, and he was partly like still in velvet too, which of course was really interesting. And so since it was my first buck, we took it to the taxidermist and just got it back today. So this was just a day that my mom and I went on a walk with my dog Peanut, but I just thought it was pretty spectacular because the whole valley was full of this heavy fog. Everything was covered in hoarfrost, and everything was just masked in all this detail. apparently this happened during the windstorm. So this weekend was the weekend we finally got our winter. It snowed about 8 inches, and then the next day another 3 to 4. So I'd say we got about a foot total. But this is the first real snowstorm we've had all winter long. And this is just a video of Sylvester capitalizing on my footprints. It is so pretty. I'm so glad we finally got a storm in the winter. The only other actual snowstorm we've had was in October, the end of October. We got quite a bit then, but other than that, winter's been void of snow. So I'm out here trying to do some cross-country skiing, but I think it's too deep. Obviously, when I first broke trail, it was just like walking with skis on in the snow. You really couldn't glide at all. But once I got a little track, you could glide a little more, but obviously your skis don't stay in the track like it would on a groom trail. So I might go back and forth a couple more times, but I do have a load of studying to do today. You can't even see the skis most of the time. It's starting to snow again. It's been snowing on and off all day. I think once it gets colder, it's supposed to be only 2 as a high next week. I think once it gets colder, the snow will pack down more and maybe it'll be a little better, but just trying it out today.